Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Tutu. Today we got the flight mic. Marcus Smart changes everything for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't even know what else to say, but just watch the vid. Make sure y'all check out the flight mic. I'll leave him down below. He's got a football channel too. I'll leave it down below also, so y'all can check him out. But yeah, let's get into it.
Marcus Smart has agreed to a contract buyout with the Wizards.
The Wizards guard
I forgot he was with the Wizards, bro.
The team plans to sign a 2-year deal to go to the Lakers. Smart has a player option after the first year, which would allow him to enter free agency at that time.
Marcus Smart just did the most unthinkable thing I've ever seen a member of the Boston Celtics or Los Angeles Lakers do since Shaquille.
Could you imagine being? Yeah, I was just about to say that. Could you imagine being that loved by the Lakers or Celtics, and then you go join the opposite team? Like you can't do that, bro.
O'Neal decided to sign with
Marcus
the
Smart was a
Boston
Celtics
Celtics at the
fan
end of his
favorite,
career just to chase one more ring so he could have something over Kobe. What Marcus Smart just did was sacrilege in the face of Boston Celtic fans and has added a brand new layer to this rivalry with the Los Angeles Lakers. A player that I originally thought was considering to go back to Boston has now joined their arch nemesis. Now, some people were going to come out
honestly a
and
good
say,
pickup,
"Oh,
though. It's a
Mike,
good,
Marcus
like,
Smart is washed. He hasn't been good in 2 years." Well, we're going to break down this entire
also playing with
signing
the
in the most
Wizards, man, so,
unbiased way
like-
possible. I will warn you, I am a Laker fan, but I'm going to tell you what to expect from Marcus Smart, why the Los Angeles Lakers made this move, and why Marcus Smart decided to choose the Los Angeles Lakers over each and every other team that was pursuing him. And believe me, there were other teams that were providing larger roles and better opportunities than the Lakers. So before we get to the content, once again, I am currently
I think Marcus
trying
Smart
to
just
take
did
a
that
little
just to be a dickhead because the Celtics traded him.
bit of a vacation.
He did that on purpose just to be like,
a little bit
"Fuck
too
you,
early,
Celtics."
guys. I'm never taking a trip that starts in the middle of July ever again. I'm up at like 1 a.m. recording NBA news, and I'm getting the news to you guys 1 to 2 days late, so my apologies for that. And my setup is clearly not what it typically is, but if you guys want to get the latest NBA news and analysis, make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications. And if you want to see what I'm up to as I'm traveling, follow me on Instagram. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro.
I messed with the intro music, but
A brand new partnership with Fantasy Aces, link in their phone picks. This Smart a little bit more comfortable than the last one. On July 19th, 2025, Marcus Smart officially agreed to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers after getting bought
my
out.
dad
by
got all
Washington
excited because the
Wizards.
Lakers
We're
fan. He's
talking
talking about
about
they're gonna win the
two-year,
championship now.
$11 million deal with a player option for the second year. And if you think this is just another veteran that's ring chasing, you are missing the bigger picture, because with all due respect, I don't think the Los Angeles Lakers are the top contender in the Western Conference, at least not right now.
Yeah.
This isn't just Marcus
Warriors
Smart
are, bro.
joining the Lakers. This is Marcus Smart joining the Boston Celtics' biggest rivals after Boston basically told him his 9 years of blood, sweat, and literal floor burns meant nothing. Let me paint you the full picture of who Marcus Smart
I was
was
right.
to the
He went to
Celtics,
Lakers
because this
'cause
signing
he
hits
to say
different
fuck
when
you
you
to the Celtics.
understand the history. Marcus Smart wasn't just a player for the Celtics. He was the Celtics for 9 years. We're talking about a guy who averaged 10.6 points, 4.6 assists, and 3.5 rebounds across 581 games in a Boston uniform.
I hated
But
Marcus
those
Smart
numbers don't
so much with Boston, bro. Especially the year he won Defensive Player of the Year, bro. He would always just be flopping and stuff and not even actually playing defense, bro. Like, it was just one time in the finals against the Warriors when Clay had like hit on, like jabbed him like that or something like that because he had the ball, he jabbed it. And instead of playing defense or something, Marcus Smart, or the Defensive Player of the Year, by the way, Defensive Player of the Year, instead of playing defense, he's gonna flop back like 10 feet and just sit on the floor and let Clay hit an open
tell
three,
you
bro.
about the dude who would literally
Now, I'm not
throw
mad about it, but like I'm just saying, bro.
his body into the third row for a loose ball, or the guy who became only the sixth guard in NBA history to win Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. Marcus Smart made the playoffs in all 9 of his seasons with Boston. Think about that, 9 straight playoff appearances. This man was there for 5 Eastern Conference Finals runs and the 2022 NBA Finals. What he did for the Celtics doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet because he was the emotional leader, the guy who set the tone defensively, and honestly, the heartbeat of that entire organization. But here's where it gets personal, and here's where the betrayal angle really starts to make sense. On June 2023, Marcus Smart
they
is
just-
coming off of helping the
I'm
Celtics.
not bro. I just know Marcus Smart is sick, bro. Could you imagine like giving your heart out to the organization for like 10 years, bro, and then they trade you, And then the next year they won the championship. Oh, I'd be pissed.
reach another
Oh, I'd be
Eastern
pissed. And then
Conference final.
you're stuck on the Grizzlies and Wizards after that. Oh, nah.
Thinking that he's safe with the 4-year, $77 million extension he signed just 1 year earlier. But the Boston Celtics had other plans. In one of the most bittersweet trades in Boston Celtics history, Marcus Smart was the sacrificial lamb in order for the Celtics to win their most recent championship. But when you look at it from a human element, obviously this hits a little bit differently. According to Smart himself, he had asked the team multiple times about trade rumors.
Shams had already tweeted it out, and that's how we found out. It was definitely shocking to find out that way, especially because the week before I was already told that there was no trade talks with me and I was good. So
then boom, he finds out that he's been traded to Memphis on Twitter. Not from the team, not from his agent first.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Could you imagine like that's your home for 10 years and your family's there, your kids are there, your kids go to school there, all of their friends there and stuff like that. And then you find out you get traded, and not by the owner or the GM or the coach or nothing, but on Twitter, bro. Oh nah.
Charania on social media. Imagine giving 9 years of your career to an organization, becoming the face of their defense, and finding out you've been shipped out the same way us regular folks find out about celebrity breakups. Smart later said that, if I'm being quite frank, I knew I would be traded eventually, but I just figured it would be next season just based off my contract and with the new CBA. But it was just the way it happened. The man was heartbroken, and honestly, who wouldn't be? Now, I want to be abundantly clear, I don't blame the Celtics for making this decision. And originally, their plan A wasn't trading Marcus Smart, their plan A was trading Malcolm Brogdon. But due to Malcolm Brogdon's injury, they had to pivot to plan B.
I forgot Brogdon was with the Celtics, bro.
On their roster, so they had no choice but to trade Marcus Smart. And originally, Smart was supposed to be the perfect fit on Memphis. Remember, Memphis just recently parted ways with Dillon Brooks for doing this.
I don't care, he's old. I poke bears. I don't respect no
Dillon Brooks? Bro, this year with the Warriors, bro, when in the first round, bro, he was pissing me off, bro, because he was doing the most, bro, trying to always get in people's faces, start stuff, and act like he's the best player on the court and stuff like that, just for him to go out there and score 7 points on 3 for 19 or 3 for 9 shooting or something like that, bro. Like, bro.
And pretty much they were hoping
just for him to get cooked on offense too by Steph, Chef, Wardell, Curry, yo.
That Marcus Smart could be a less dramatic version of Dillon Brooks. This also worked perfectly because John Morant was also set to start the season on a suspension, and the Grizzlies lost Tyus Jones, so their guard depth was a little shaky. So Marcus Smart was set to have a huge role in changing up the Memphis Grizzlies culture. But basketball, like life, tends to have other plans. The 2023-24 season was basically a medical disaster for Smart. He only played 20 games due to a sprained ankle and finger injuries. And then this past season, the Memphis Grizzlies would officially pull the plug on the Marcus Smart experiment. And look at how pitiful this return was. Memphis traded Marcus Smart and a 2025 first-round pick just to get rid of him. And
could you imagine? Hold on. Could you imagine, yo? You were getting... they traded you in a first-round pick to get you off the team for Marvin Bagley. Imagine getting traded for a bust, bro. That's how bad you were on the court. Imagine being traded for a bust, and they had to go up a first-round pick for that bust, bro. No, that's insane. That's insane. I would never.
In return, got Marvin Bagley III, Johnny Davis, and 2 second-round picks.
I didn't know Marvin Bagley ever played for the Grizzlies.
Split between Memphis and Washington was another injury-riddled mess. Smart just played in 34 total games between both teams, averaging 9 points, 2.1 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in about 20 minutes per game. For a guy who was averaging over 30 minutes per game in Boston and was the defensive anchor, this had to be devastating. But here's the kicker, and this is where that revenge angle I mentioned earlier comes into play. After all that struggle, after missing the playoffs for 2 straight years following 9 consecutive playoff appearances in Boston, Smart said something that should have been a warning shot to the Celtics, saying you always want to be where you're wanted, and another team's trash is another team's gold. Talk about some foreshadowing. He literally said, another team's trash is another team's gold. That quote hits a lot differently now, doesn't it? And here's where the story takes a turn that nobody saw coming, and why the signing is so much bigger
because, bro,
Luka,
let's go help out Luka a lot because we all know Luka can't play a lick of defense.
Multiple teams were interested.
Let's be fair. I could probably go out and get. I don't even have good handles like that, but I'm pretty sure I can go out there and get around Luka if I really wanted to, bro. Because he don't even be trying half the time. So not even half the time, like 90% of the time, he don't be trying.
Milwaukee Bucks both had conversations with them, but according to Shams, there was one phone call that changed everything. Luka Doncic personally reached out to Marcus Smart and made it crystal clear that he wanted the veteran defender on his team. Think about that for a second. A 5-time All-Star, the face of the Lakers franchise, taking time to personally recruit a guy who's been battling injuries and hasn't played meaningful basketball in 2 years. But why would Luka want Marcus Smart so badly? Because he understands exactly what the Lakers
do his
need,
dirty work,
and it's
bro.
not more offense. Let's be real about what the Lakers were last season.
You know, Luka
Luka
doesn't want to play defense and jump on the ball like that, but Smart does. So that's why Luka reached out.
Record in the
common
Western
sense, but
Conference,
you don't need to go on
only
and
to
on.
get bounced out by the lesser Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the NBA playoffs, despite having
When they made fucking Rudy Gobert look like prime. That game was insane, bro. I ain't never seen Rudy Gobert have like 30 points and 25 rebounds. That was one of the craziest games I've ever watched in my life. Not even just like because it was a good game. It's just the fact that Rudy Gobert was looking like prime Wilt and Shaq combined out there. In the fact that Hayes is so bad that they would rather just let Rudy Gobert dominate instead of putting a big man in to stop him.
home court advantage. Do you know what their biggest weakness was? Perimeter defense, not having any front court depth, and JJ Redick forgetting how to make substitutions. When you've got Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as your primary ball handlers and LeBron James, who's now 40 years old, you need someone who can guard the other team's best perimeter player every night. And that's exactly what Marcus Smart brings, even if he's not the same guy who won Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. The Lakers are expecting Smart to come off the bench and provide the defensive anchor that they've been missing since they've lost players like Danny Green and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. At 6'4" and 220
Y'all remember when
pounds,
Danny Green was
Smart
getting
can
death
still
threats
guard
because he missed that game winning open three in the bubble, bro? That was too far. And then the next game, he started off like sparking, bro. I think he made like back-to-back at the beginning of the game.
And his
bro.
basketball IQ on defense hasn't gone anywhere despite the injuries. Plus, here's something people are overlooking. Smart shot 34.8% from 3 last season on limited attempts. That's actually solid for a role player. And in the Lakers system with Luka and LeBron creating open looks, that percentage could easily jump. But let's talk about the deeper chess move that's happening here. The Lakers didn't just sign Marcus Smart, they used their full $5.1 million biannual exception on him, and they're waiving Shake Milton in order to make room. That shows that this wasn't just an available veteran pickup, this was targeted. Remember, the Lakers also added DeAndre Ayton this offseason, so they've addressed their two biggest weaknesses: interior
I wanted 8 on the
defense
Warriors
and
so bad.
perimeter
And the
defense.
Warriors still ain't done nothing, bro. It's still pissing me off. We still ain't trade Kuminga. We still ain't make no moves, nothing, bro. Like,
Smart brings something that Ayton can't. Significantly more playoff experience, and he's been to a couple of more championship games than he has. The man has 108 career playoff games under his belt, with an average of 12.8 points, 4.9 assists, and 4.3 rebounds in the postseason alone. When the playoffs come around and teams are targeting Luka on defense, Smart can switch on to their best scorer and let Luka conserve energy for offense. Now here's why Celtic fans are probably punching air right now. Boston just traded Drew Holiday back to Portland, creating a massive hole in their backcourt defense. They could have used Marcus Smart's services, especially considering
I don't even know how
history
Boston's
together.
gonna look
But more
at
than that, this
pretty
hits
soon,
at the
bro.
heart of what Celtic fans thought
They
their
went from
organization stood
they
for.
went from like being the next dynasty to like we don't know what the hell is gonna happen, you know.
Smart wasn't just a player. He was the guy who embodied that Celtic pride mentality.
Yeah, Georges
he was
Niang
the
when
dude
the team
dyeing
started,
his hair
bro.
green, diving for every loose ball, and treating every regular season game like Game 7 of the NBA Finals. For him to end up with the Los Angeles Lakers, their historic rivals, after the way Boston treated him, that's like your ex showing up to your family reunion with your biggest enemy. It's not just painful, it's humiliating. So how does Marcus Smart's contract look? Well, Smart is taking significantly less money than he was making.
He was
with the
like, when the
Wizards.
Lakers
He gave
offered
up
him, he
about
was like, yeah,
$6.8
he
million
probably started
to
grinning
make this
so
happen.
hard just
But that player
because of how the
option for year
Celtics did him.
2, that puts him right back on the market for the 2026 free agency period, which is expected to be loaded with money due to the new TV deal. This isn't about securing a long-term bag. This is about proving a point. Marcus Smart wants to show that he can still play meaningful basketball. And what better way to do that than helping the Los Angeles Lakers take the next step in this brand new era. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Lakers with Smart aren't just getting better, they're becoming a legitimate threat in the Western Conference again. Think about their rotation now. They have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton as starters, with Smart leading a bench unit that can actually defend.
Ayton not
That's a
playing a
team that
lick
can
of
hang
defense,
with
though.
anyone in a 7-game series. Smart gives them the versatility to
We
that's
wouldn't have
James
starting
in
five is
rotation
playing any
now. They have
defense, though. Let's
Luka
be for real.
Doncic,
Hold on.
Austin Reeves,
Luka not
Rui
playing no defense. Reed's not playing no defense. Hachimura can play some defense.
LeBron James.
LeBron's old as hell. He's not, he's not doing what he used to do.
And
And we all know
DeAndre
Ayton's
as
not doing
starters,
anything.
with
So.
Smart leading a bench unit that can actually defend. That's
They gonna
a team
score
that can hang with
150 a game,
anyone
but give
in
up
a 7-game
155,
series.
yo.
Smart gives them the versatility to switch defensively against teams like the Warriors or Nuggets, while his playoff experience could be crucial in those tight fourth quarters where championship teams are made. From Marcus Smart's perspective, this move makes perfect sense for his legacy. If he retires after struggling with injuries in Memphis and Washington, he's remembered as a guy who couldn't stay healthy after leaving Boston. But if he helps the Lakers win a championship, suddenly
They're
he's
not
the
winning a
veteran who
championship,
provided the
man.
missing piece for a title
If they win a
run.
championship, I will. If they win a championship, I would record myself running in the street balls naked, bro. I swear, I promise you.
Imagine if he helps the Lakers win a championship.
record
That would
myself
be the
post it,
ultimate middle
everything.
finger to the Celtics. So what should you expect from Marcus Smart in a Lakers uniform? Well, realistically, he's probably looking at about 20 to 25
We all
minutes
know
per
damn well the Lakers ain't winning shit, bro. Let's be for real. They're a. I don't know, honestly. Nah, they're not winning shit. Let's be for real. They can second round team at. Nah, I can see them in the second round maybe.
game coming
Conference
off the
finals,
bench,
but I don't
with
see
his
him
role
winning a
expanding in the
ring, bro.
playoffs when defensive
They're not getting
intensity
past the
matters the
Warriors.
most. His main job will be defending the other team's best perimeter player and providing veteran leadership for a team that sometimes lacks grit. Don't expect him to be a primary scorer, but do expect him to make winning plays when it matters most. The real test will be his health. If Smart can stay on the court for 60-plus games this season, the Lakers become a completely different team defensively. If he's battling injuries again, this signing becomes more about depth than impact. At the end of the day, this wouldn't be the first time that a former Celtics legend decided to join the Los Angeles Lakers and try to help them and LeBron James win a championship, as Rajon Rondo did the same thing in
No, I forgot
2020.
about
and
Rondo
led
and
to
the
one
Lakers.
of the most iconic pictures we've ever seen in NBA history. So let me know in the
Wasn't
comment
Avery
section
Bradley
down
on that
below,
team,
what do
too?
you guys think about the Marcus Smart signing? Aside from that, I don't know
think
if you guys
I think it's a good signing for the Lakers, but I don't think it's going to bring them a championship. It makes them a lot better, obviously, but a championship, that's not going to happen. Let's be for real. But anyway, that's a good video. Always remember hard work pays off, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.